It's Colonial League basketball time. Hi, everybody. From Notre Dame of Green Pond, I'm Bob Dady. Tonight, the Crusaders of Notre Dame High School take on the Argyl Green Knights. 9-2 for Notre Dame under Pat Boyle, having another outstanding year, 6-0 in the league. Argyl 6-6 overall and 4-3. But this Argyl team is very athletic, and Pat Boyle's a little concerned about them. They're a good basketball team. Forget that 6-6 record. And boy, tonight, this is in preparation for Thursday night's game between Wilson and Notre Dame. But, you know, they got to get going tonight, the Crusaders. They can't overlook the Warriors.
Yeah, you touch on a very important point. Both of these teams are very athletic. A lot of outstanding athletes on both of these teams. Not going to really fall into a post-up game. The tallest player on the court for either team is 6'3". This is going to be a good game. A game in which both teams look to fast break, but it's not a hectic throw the ball around. A good organized defense, and again, a lot of athleticism, a lot of quickness here. So it should be an entertaining matchup.
Okay, and let's take a look at some of actually the starters and some of the players that are going to be standouts tonight. You can look at for Argyl for Colin Kessler and Mike Bortz and Tanner Duncan. Three names that you're going to hear a lot about tonight, and these are the youngsters that actually, Chris, account for 40 of the 55 team points that Argyl has per game. They're going to be the three hot shots tonight.
Yeah, those are the three hot shots. Tanner Duncan is a guy that comes off the bench, so that's a real key to have a guy with 12 points per game coming off your bench, and he's done a nice job stepping up. But Kressler and Bortz have been the main two guys this year. Kressler averaging 15 points a game, Bortz 12 points a game, and they also can shoot very well from outside and assist the other guys up. I think a big key tonight is going to be Ben Jones in the center at 6'3". As I mentioned, he is the tallest player on the court. If Notre Dame can box him out, the rebounding should be kept a little bit even. But Jones has had success getting some rebounds for Argyl this year, and if he can get going, and if Notre Dame does not box out, Jones is going to give him some second and third opportunities at the hoop.
Talked about to Joe Arndt, the head coach in his second year at Argyl. He said, we're athletic. He said, I think we got a good basketball team here tonight. We can keep up with Notre Dame. We certainly can run with them, and that's one of the few things that very few schools can do. Now for Notre Dame, Jeff Daly leading the scorers with 17 points, having another outstanding year.
Yeah, and they have four guys back from last year, and you know, you look at what they did the past couple of years with some of these players like Daly, Tavani, and just running down the line, Reed Klotz, Ryan McAvoy. All four of those guys came back from a year ago, and except for Tavani, who does a lot of things besides scoring, those three of the four players average in double figures or more. And you know, a nice addition to that, Nate Mast, who's a senior, didn't play a whole lot last year, but come on and has done a nice job as a front court presence. And again, they're not a real big team. In fact, they line up with four guards in the books anyway. So Mast also plays a key, and you know, you look for him to get going and create some of an inside presence. And again, maybe not in terms of points, but rebounding inside and also boxing out.
All right, well, this is in preparation, and again, I know Pat Boyle doesn't want to hear this as far as looking ahead to Thursday, but this place, they'll be lined up about a block away from the school come an hour before game time when Wilson and Notre Dame get it on. But tonight, we got a good one here. Argyl and Notre Dame, and the tip-off is coming up in just a moment.
Who says you can't keep up with the kids today? The versatile Volvo V70.
Criminal justice. One of the fastest growing career opportunities. Allentown Business School can get you there. The Criminal Justice Program at Allentown can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call toll-free 888-806-0808. That's 888-806-0808.
And we are ready for basketball action on this Tuesday as Notre Dame High School of Green Pond looking for win number 10 on the year. And of course, the Penn Argyl would love to get this one, Chris, because if so, they would be 7-6 overall. They have games against Palisades and Bangor ahead, which look pretty good, and they can have 10 victories real quick. Ken Corrals, the official, on the left. Jim Butler from Easton is on the right. Those are the fellows that will be calling the game tonight, and we are ready to go. Penn Argyl in their traveling green, Notre Dame in their home white. And we are up and running. To give you the numbers, first time around, 20 is Jeff Daly. He's the guy that'll pull the trigger often tonight. 17 points overall on the year.
Notre Dame moving the ball around, trying to beat the press. Penn Argyl starting off in the 3-2 zone.
There's a shot from outside by Jeff Daly. It's not good, goes out of bounds, but Notre Dame will retain possession underneath the bucket.
Should be a real interesting matchup with Penn Argyl starting off in the zone, trying to move the ball around, whereas man-to-man defense that we'll see at the other end. You see a lot of screens.
Klotz shoots, Chris. That's not good. Down the other way. Here is a layup underneath by Bortz, and that is not good for Penn Argyl. This is the game that we expected. Run and gun. Layup is up and in by Notre Dame.
Well, important key is starting the fast break, and as Pat Boyle talked about during the conversation before the game, fast break really starts with getting the rebounds, boxing out, getting the boards, and getting a quick outlet pass. And that time, fast break, very effective as Notre Dame gets on the board first.
Jeff Daly scored that last field goal for Notre Dame. Colin Kessler misses for Penn Argyl. Here they come, Notre Dame the other way. A layup underneath is up and not good. And that is Cavani. Here's Penn Argyl baseline, and they lose the ball underneath, and boy, it's playground basketball, up and down.
Well, expecting an athletic game, seeing some miscues here and there, which you don't want to see if you're the head coach. Both teams staying aggressive.
Daly for three, shoots up and not good. Notre Dame 1 for 4 from the field tonight. Penn Argyl underneath the bucket. Good no call. Layup is up and in by Ben Jones.
That's something we talked about in the pregame show. Neither team really has a really strong post-up game, but if one guy is going to come alive, it's Ben Jones. Nice job up top, reading that Jones was open, had a couple steps on his defenders actually, and he took it right to the rack.
Right around the horn. Notre Dame with Daly, number 20. Gets it inside to Cavani.
And against this zone, very important to angles. Watch Daly, he's going to be a point man in the middle, and anyone they shuffle in there, he's going to have the angle pass.
Shot from outside is up and not good. And that was by Nathaniel Mast. It goes out of bounds, but again, Notre Dame gets the bounce and the ball underneath. Daly will take it out.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. Two Green Knight players were both there. A little uncertain as far as who would take it, and then the ball just dribbled out of bounds. Notre Dame gets it right back.
McAvoy is 15, Klotz is 4, and the fellow outside Daly. The shot is up, and bang!
A nice job there, Ryan McAvoy also. They were both at the top of the key, and when McAvoy went in, again, miscommunication as far as who was going to pick up the outside man. Both of them picked up McAvoy, who was cutting towards the wing, and left the shooter wide open.
5-2 Notre Dame. Easy soft shot by Steve Waring is good. And Penn Argyl's 2 for 3 from the field so far. This is going to be a very interesting contest between two teams who would like to muscle each other a little bit. And Notre Dame has been very, very successful in running all season long, run long and hard all night, and very few teams like to play that kind of game. Penn Argyl is not one of them. Shot is up and bang! Reed Klotz.
Nice job by Klotz, averaging 12 points a game. We're going to talk about their free throw shooting as the game progresses, but excellent outside shooters. Nice job working the zone. Klotz just had a little bit of a step. Defense late getting over.
Ball goes out of bounds, but here's a push at the sideline just before it does. And a personal foul is going to be whistled against Ryan McAvoy, and that'll be his first. Talked to Pat Boyle at length and his dad, Bob, before the game. Good to see Robert here tonight. Let's take a look at the replay, and then we'll tell you about that conversation.
And the fans close to that side were booing the call, but accurate call there. Last touch by Notre Dame.
Zukru, here's a shot from outside by Colin Kessler, not good. Jim Butler with the call underneath.
You know, there's some boisterous fan clubs, but we have to give Notre Dame some credit. The fan groups have come a long way since I went to school. Not only are they rowdy and very loud, as we found out during pregame, but they have computer-generated pictures and balloons. They've really gone high-tech. When you're smart and rowdy, that's a dangerous combination.
Colin Kessler missing on the other end. Notre Dame quickly in forward court, not wasting any time. And here's a push, and it's against 34, Steve Waring. And that is his first personal foul.
You see another fast break opportunity, Notre Dame. Good hands there, and him reaching in, obviously getting contact, bumping a couple times, trying to poke the ball away.
Notre Dame, Klotz backs up. Cross-court pass, almost picked off, and then Klotz gets it back, saves it at midcourt. Nice move. Nathaniel Mast is number 21. Klotz is 4. This is McAvoy in the corner at 15. Tavani. And Klotz for 3. Shoots up, not good. Ball underneath, goes out of bounds. Penn Argyl basketball.
Well, what set that up again? Once again, the point man in the middle. They were trying to work the zone. They gave it to Daly. Penn Argyl thought they were going to swing it over to the weak side, and they came back. Pretty good shot. And then after the shot, missed. Scramble forward. Official says last touch by Notre Dame off the foot. And once again, accurate call.
And Nathaniel Mast picks up another personal foul. And that is his second.
Bob, with all the horrid officiating going on at the collegiate and pro levels and the whining that we've heard in football and basketball, it's nice to come here in the Lehigh Valley, and pretty good officiated game so far this year.
Yeah, they really have, Chris, and that has a lot to do with the fact that these fellows have been working for many, many years, and we're just starting to see some new young faces, and it's good to see them. Jump shot is up and good by Mike Bortz. And again, Bortz and company account for 40 of the 55 points a game that this team scores.
Yeah, and Bortz really well-rounded athlete. We mentioned 12 points a game, leads the team 32 assists, also gets 5 rebounds per game, so that's like a three-dimensional player. That time, nice touch on the jumper to bring it back within 2 for Penn Argyl.
Notre Dame not very deep going down the lane, and a layup is up and not good underneath. The ball comes free. Everybody's going after it. Klotz tries to get the ball. And here comes the whistle by Jim Butler. Personal, and that's going to be against Reed Klotz.
And we said Reed reached in there, number 4. Let's watch. After the ball gets stolen, stays on a little bit too long.
Here comes a call at side court, and it's a blocking foul. Notre Dame is not very deep. McAvoy picks up his second real quick.
And McAvoy's trying to get position. He just doesn't quite get himself established there. After the call was made, kind of raises his arms, but he didn't get there in time. Now, one advantage for Notre Dame this year, Chad Lilly as a sophomore has come on and played very well. So they're not a tremendously deep team, but they do have him coming off the bench.
Pass underneath to Jones. Shot is up and not good. Partially bumped, no call. Rebound underneath, and here comes Notre Dame. Pat Boyle said this is one of the really excellent teams, well-balanced that he has. These 5 starters, he said, I really don't have to worry about anything discipline-wise or any other type of situation. He said they play hard, they go for 32 minutes a game, and just don't quit. There's a shot underneath from the side by Lilly, not good. Picks up the ball, goes around the 19-foot line, turns around, and dumps it back outside.
And one other player, Derek Hafler, is another guy. He's the one that did come in during that last break. 6'2" forward. He's another senior that has played well and provides some help off the bench.
I said it was going to be physical tonight, and boy, they're piling up the fouls early. Ben Jones picks up his first.
You're going to see the entry pass. There's Daly. Takes it one side, comes back the other way.
Notre Dame's 2 losses to Pocono Mountain, and in the Christmas tournament in Syracuse, New York, they lost the game, but he said they played against 4A teams, and he said we were delighted by the turn of events there. Klotz nails his second field goal. It's good. 10-6 Notre Dame. Baseline, trying to find some room. Waring underneath. Ball goes out of bounds, but it's touched last by Notre Dame.
A good help defense when Penn Argyl tries to go in the paint. Just because you play man-to-man doesn't mean you're not going to double some teams. And comes another break.
Long coast-to-coast layup up and in by Klotz. He picks up his 3rd field goal, and Notre Dame now doubles the score, 12-6. Pat Boyle, 110 wins thus far, and there have been rumors about him for years about going elsewhere, but he's right here at the Crusader School for his 7th year. Outside, Cavani winds up, shoots, air ball, not good, and it goes almost out of bounds and picked up by Penn Argyl.
Yeah, when he got that pass, so it was very close to the three-point line, very wary of it, really didn't get in a good rhythm to try to shoot it up and in, tried to keep his feet back, and as a result, his aim was off to the shot.
This is Colin Kessler, stolen. Cavani's going to go coast to coast. The layup is up, and that one he won't miss.
You know, again, when you have such a well-rounded athlete, you have Tavani, who's pretty much playing power forward on this team, but he's so quick, he can step up, and good anticipation, picks off the ball, and brings it right back the other way.
Joe Arndt doing an outstanding job at Penn Argyl. What a great young coach he is. Smart, capable, lots of personality. And he knows the game, and he has these young people playing as well as you can expect, considering how young they are. And driving toward the basket is Kessler. He is fouled.
Good job that time. Daly's going to drop off here, and again, you see that double team, even though it's man-to-man defense. 3 white jerseys in the picture, but too much arm by Lilly coming down. Had the right idea, kept his arm straight up and down, but after the shot was made, kind of came down forward and drew contact.
Kessler averages about, for Penn Argyl, about 15 points a game, and that is his first point of the night. Good close-up shot. Colin fires away and gets this one, too.
We're going to see Tanner Duncan coming on the floor. We mentioned coming as the 6th man on the team, averaging 11.7 points per game. Also ranks right up there among the leaders in several statistical categories.
Cavani hands it outside to Jeff Daly. Now they're looking up at the clock with 25 seconds remaining, and obviously Notre Dame will wait for the last shot. Klotz, number 4, out near midcourt.
And when you talk about a fast break team, again, they're a very smart team. They realize the clock. They want to play for the last shot here. Doesn't want to give up any easy baskets quickly the other way. They'll have no less than a 6-point lead at the end of 1.
Cavani left-right, hands it to Daly. Daly crosses the 19-foot line, shoots up, not good, and that'll end quarter number 1. Fourth quarter for the Crusaders as Notre Dame leads Penn Argyl 14-8, and we'll be right back.
Basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
All right, we're back. Chris?
For one other player we wanted to mention that unfortunately for Notre Dame was lost right before Christmas. That's Doug Weaver, a sophomore. Guy that really was playing well for Notre Dame as a sophomore, playing some guard position. There you get a look at the rowdy fans. There's a one of the computer-generated pictures of the players, and they have some other computer printer, I don't know, scanner stuff that they were showing off before the game.
You know, one of those things like, you know, what has a screen, a couple buttons like that, right, Chris?
Yeah, I used to draw on poster board if you want to put a picture of a player. Now they got computer-generated pictures and scanners. I don't know.
Boy, they were
I got to take a computer lesson sometime, figure out how to do all that.
That would be a good idea. There's a pass inside to Jones. The big guy goes toward the bucket, hit again, and he gets it off the nice soft shot, his second field goal.
Yeah, nice little almost hook shot. Just kind of bumped inside, has that long reach. We mentioned tallest player on the floor. Clear shot at the hoop.
14-10. That's the only thing Notre Dame doesn't have is size. They're very, very small all along the line. Penn Argyl a little bit bigger. And again, I reminded Coach Boyle, that 12 out of 15 of these athletes return next year. And we are delighted to be with you. Gary and Dick will be here Thursday for probably the game, the biggest game of the year thus far early on in the Colonial League. And that, of course, features Wilson and Notre Dame, who could still be tied for first place in the East Division come Thursday night. Toward the bucket, here's a nice shot. Kissing it off the glass is Tanner Duncan.
Well, Duncan, there's that name again. Nice shot off the dribble. Nothing real fancy, just got some good hang time. Got it in the air, good shot at the hoop, shot it up and in.
Lilly on a nice look-away pass that last time inside to Vanny. Right around the horn. Bounce pass over to Nathaniel Mast, and he's going to give it to McAvoy. He makes a hard drive toward the bucket, and a layup is up and in.
Once again, good job by the Crusaders beating that zone. They were working on the weak side, and then just brought it back the other way. Nice drive baseline, put it up and in.
Shot from outside by Mike Bortz is not good, and if Bortz and Duncan and Kessler are not on tonight, that spells disaster for this team, because these are the three guys that can make some points.
Reed Klotz coming back into the ball game, replacing Heffler. I mentioned with the 2 fouls, Heffler came off the bench. Did a nice job in the middle at that, what I call point position, right there at the angle.
There's a soft shot, is up and good by Lilly. And that is his first bucket of the evening, and it's now 18-12 Notre Dame.
And that's so tough when you have so many well-rounded athletes like the Crusaders. You can give that ball inside to that man that usually is your starter, and he can just turn around and kill you with a jumper.
Daly coast to coast. The layup is up and in on that fast break. Joe Arden has seen enough. 20-second timeout for Penn Argyl. It's 20-12 in favor of Notre Dame, and we'll be right back.
If Shoremark Anything Goes carpet is tough enough to withstand the foot traffic of Atlantis International Airport, imagine how great it will look in your home. Shoremark Anything Goes won't mat or crush like other carpets. It's the best performing carpet you can buy. So you can count on lasting beauty, even if your home's like Grand Central Station. Shoremark, a name you can stand on.
At Lehigh Valley Hyundai, we're making it easy and affordable to drive home. Do the deal on a 2002 Hyundai Accent with $2,000 down, cash or trade for only $69.95 or $129 a month. Or do the deal on a 2002 Hyundai Elantra GLS with $2,000 down, cash or trade for just $96.95 or $179 a month. Plus, every Hyundai comes with the Hyundai Advantage, America's best warranty. 10 years of worry-free driving. At Lehigh Valley Hyundai, we're making it easy and affordable to drive home.
We are back at Notre Dame of Green Pond before a pretty good crowd here tonight. They're excited about their 9-2 Crusaders, and they have every right to be. They're an exciting basketball team, and they can put up a lot of points. They're averaging about 65 points a game, and that's not good for Penn Argyl, who averages 55. Again, great hands. Here comes Notre Dame 2-on-1, and Daly throws it away as he tried to hit Klotz, and Penn Argyl gets it back.
And, you know, I was just going to say that Notre Dame, big key for them is running the fast break. How many points have they scored off the fast breaks tonight? Have at least 5 field goals. They've done a tremendous job in not turning the ball over. And, of course, that's their first turnover off a fast break, second overall.
Bortz and Kessler, 20 and 24 respectively, will have to score some points if Penn Argyl is going to stay in this basketball game. Bortz behind the screen, goes to the left side into the paint, dishes it off, and again another turnover for Penn Argyl, and here comes Notre Dame. Pass inside, gets away, and goes out of bounds as Nathaniel Mast tried to get the basketball, but was unsuccessful.
Zach Chromiak re-entering the game for Penn Argyl.
He's a senior 5'9". Speaking of Penn Argyl, they have 9 out of 13 returning next year. So a lot of great talent in the underclasses here across court.
And with the substitution of Chromiak in there, you look for him to have, that senior leadership a little bit. Penn Argyl with a rash of turnovers here the last 5-6 minutes, leading to points the other way. You look for Chromiak to come in, and some of the senior leaders, some of the more experienced players, to try to settle things down.
Colin Kessler went in for the shot and was almost decapitated by Tavani. That's Dan Tavani and his football expertise. Watch this. Woo! I'll take it right out of your face.
Yeah, he was bumped on both sides. Nate Mass did a nice job again, man-to-man defense, but Mass read where the play was going, dropped off his man, and provided double coverage on Kessler coming through the lane.
Kessler's shot is not good. Probably told Tavani, I don't have any equipment on, though, so knock that off. In forward court. What a competitor Tavani is. And all these athletes. Boy, I'm very impressed this year by these sophomores and juniors. Here's a shot by McAvoy. Not good. Notre Dame has it back. And here comes a call by Jim Butler and another personal foul.
That's going against Notre Dame. See if we can spot it on the replay. It was away from the ball. Inside there trying to get free. Bumped off with the right arm.
That's the second on Lilly, number 3. Notre Dame Penn Argyl has, for the second time, an 8-point lead. They have them on the ropes, and Penn Argyl seems to come back and get 2 or 4 quick ones and gets it close. And now they lose it again. And if it hadn't been for the turnovers so far, Chris, this game might be a lot tighter than it is.
Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of turnovers, and that's playing a big factor for Penn Argyl. Again, starting the fast breaks, you look to do that off of rebounds and off of miscues. And some of these errors are also, some of these turnovers are unforced errors.
Ooh, watch out. Pass from Lilly into McAvoy, and Ken Carl's going to have a call here.
You see cutting down the lane, is going to get tripped up. Little fake move.
Trevor Levitt checked in the game for Penn Argyl at that last timeout, and he picks up his first personal foul. Jeff Daly inside, going toward the bucket, Lilly, and a whistle, and yet another foul.
And the tempo of this game certainly benefiting Notre Dame. Although they have success running the basketball, if they have to get in a half-court game, they're showing the ability to move the ball around and still get open shots that way. So the fact that the tempo of the game is slowing down, although it is not the way Notre Dame would like to play, right now they're still in a better situation than Penn Argyl.
Daly for 3. Shoots, bang!
And once again, doing a nice job looking for the open man. Not a whole lot of daylight, but these perimeter shooters for Notre Dame doesn't need that much time to shoot it up, even from three-point range.
Well, Joe Arns said we're going to open up with a 3-2 and leave the perimeter open, and I don't know if you can do that against a hot shooting team like Notre Dame, but he's trying everything he can.
Well, nice idea that time by Penn Argyl trying to go inside to Levitt. He's a 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" range, so you try to go inside to him, but he wasn't squared up to the hoop when he turned around to try to fire that up. Watch this. He's looking right at, he's not looking at the box. That's what you teach the power players inside. You aim for the box, you just put it right off the square and take it in. You don't try to go for the cylinder.
Lilly's shot is not good. Penn Argyl gets the ball back. Notre Dame now with their biggest lead at 11 points, 23-12. Shot is up, and it's good as Colin Kessler picks up his very first field goal of the evening. And with 3:05 remaining in the first half, it's Notre Dame 23, Penn Argyl 14. Back in a moment.
When you need a prescription filled, who do you turn to? Walters Pharmacy. Walters Pharmacy compounds prescriptions and takes filling prescriptions as their #1 priority. At Walters, you'll save time. Trust Walters Pharmacy for convenience with free fast delivery in the city of Allentown. You can visit walterspharmacy.net and email the pharmacist with questions. Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care.
Let's go get Yakult. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yakult. For quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yakult hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yakult. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yakult's, an Allentown tradition.
We are back at Notre Dame and reminding you the first half action brought to you by Atlanta Metro. You can take the bus to school and work and shopping, doctor's visits, and more. You can ride the bus all day long for just $2. And don't forget, seniors ride free during off-peak hours. So take the bus, and you'll agree that Atlanta Metro is making it easy. Indeed, they are. Really nice move down the lane, up and in.
Oh, you talk about quickness. That's just the old fake left, go right move. Brilliantly executed that time in an easy layup.
Back to 11 points. Kessler trying to make penetration, but against Tavani, you got to push and shove a little bit harder.
A little surprised Penn Argyl's not trying to set some more screens and rub some of these players off. Notre Dame's playing very tight in the man-to-man defense.
Kessler, nice move toward the bucket, but it comes up empty. Here comes Notre Dame. McAvoy tries to get it underneath to Lilly, throws it by him, and it's going to be Notre Dame basketball.
You know, both teams have some quickness, but Notre Dame defensively is playing very tight, sticking to their men, not getting a whole lot of room.
Notre Dame just loves to run. Outside, Daly shoots, bang! Third three for Jeff Daly.
And what sets that up, you just saw a moment ago where they did the stutter step move. You don't want to get beaten that badly, so you're just going to lay off them, give them a little bit of room, and they just stand straight up and drop in the free ball.
I'm sure the Wilson coaching staff, or scouting staff rather, is probably here tonight. Down the lane, big move, layup, yes! Tanner Duncan picks up his second field goal. Nice move by the big guy.
Yeah, we're seeing some very athletic moves from Tanner tonight coming off the bench. The first field goal. Did a nice job coming off the dribble.
And Duncan averaging 12 points a game. That's his only his fourth point.
There you see. Double comes over, but he does a nice job keeping his eye on the backboard again, looking for that square. Hits it right off the square and in. Now goes to the line and chance for the three-point play.
Foul shot is not good. Rebound. There's a follow-up up and in by Zach Chromiak.
That's set up for a 5-point play. They'll take that.
And even at that, Notre Dame on top by 10. Daly, little stutter step, goes to the left side of the paint. Outside to Kloss, shoots for three, not good. Rebound underneath Penn Argyl.
And that's important for the Green Knights. Notre Dame has been shooting pretty proficiently from beyond the arc, high shooting percentage. But you got to be there, box out, and get those rebounds when they do miss and try to take advantage at the other end.
There's a shot by Duncan, not good. Personal foul underneath, and it's going to be against Penn Argyl. That'll be against Steve Waring, and that's his second.
Yeah, watch inside, right side of the lane. Little pumping going on afterwards. Warming was trying to keep him away from the ball.
Next game for Penn Argyl is Thursday night. They're at home with Bangor. As I say, Orange said they had Bangor and they have Palisades, and well, if they can get one here tonight, would that turn their fortunes up a notch or two? But this one's all uphill for them, and they know it. Derek Hafler's in the game for the Crusaders. Hope you're enjoying the second game of tonight's doubleheader on RCN4. Gary and Dick with the opener, and Chris and I with the nightcap. And Thursday, another basketball game. Wilson and Notre Dame with Gary and Dick. There's a shot by Daly, not good. Some bodies go to the floor, and Notre Dame people are real unhappy. There's a shot, is up and not good by Duncan, and Notre Dame gets the basketball back.
Well, Pat Boyle wants a timeout. They haven't. There they see him. I think he might have been a little upset that they took that shot with 32 seconds left. It wasn't a real clean shot at the hoop. But Pat Boyle also may be upset about what happened after the shot on the floor. We just saw at the other end that Notre Dame was called for a loose ball foul, and I think Notre Dame feels that they should have had one called the other way at this end of the court.
Well, Pat made his point real quick to Jimmy Butler and then just turned around and walked away. He wasn't going to get himself in a situation where he could get teed up, and then one of the coaching staff members walked over and said, I think you missed it. Boy, their shooting percentages, Chris, are poor, to say the least, for both teams. But again, in this fast, up-paced tempo basketball game, when you run and gun that way, you're not going to show real big numbers on that on the percentages.
And it might be a case for Notre Dame where their three-point shooting percentage may be a little bit higher than their regular two-point shooting, the field goal shooting, because they've had some pretty good opportunities from three-point land. I believe they've only missed 2 from three-point land tonight. You know, one thing I want to talk about, though, free throw shooting, we're always very critical of teams that don't have high marks. If you look at this Notre Dame team and you look at their starters, 68% is the lowest number for any of the 5 starters. And then after that, you have 68, 68, 82, 80, and a 90% from from the free throw line, and you got to give them credit. That's a rare commodity nowadays to see a team shooting that well from the stripe.
Say free throw line 5 times quickly. In to Devaney, off the glass, shoots. And Devaney. And that is going to end the first half of action. And the Notre Dame fans are giving their team a welcome hand and applause at halftime. It's Notre Dame 30, Penn Argyl 18. Chris and I will be back with halftime action in just a moment.
There comes a time in an athlete's career when he knows he's at his best. It's that moment when victory is at hand, and he feels invincible. The level of the game is irrelevant. What matters most is the feeling. And it usually comes inside a Russell Athletic jersey. Bethlehem Sporting Goods and Russell Athletic are a part of nearly every triumphant moment throughout the Lehigh Valley. Choose Russell Athletic and Bethlehem Sporting Goods. A winning tradition starts with us.
And we are back at Notre Dame, and it's nice to have you here at halftime. It's 30-18 in favor of the Crusaders of Notre Dame, looking for victory number 10, Chris. And they love the basketball game, and just like Pat Boyle told us before the game, we will run, and we will run some more, and we will do a good job. They're very, very aggressive offensively. They pass well, and they just put it all together, and you can see it's a real team effort. That's what Pat said. He said, you know, we're not a one-man shooting team or even two-man. He said, this is really a team effort. 9-2 tells the story. And let's take the story of the stats now. And here is Chris Michael, our halftime stats brought to you by R&J Carpet Connection.
Well, you look at the individual numbers to start. First for Notre Dame, Daly getting a lot of outside looks and a lot of fast break opportunities. As Bob just mentioned, all these guys very athletic. They can pass the ball. They can run the floor. They can shoot from outside. They can shoot on the fast break. So as a result, you see 5 guys involved in the scoring. Just so happens that Daly's been the one that's got a lot of outside looks, and of course he has a great outside jumper. Penn Argyl also a team that likes to spread things around. The big 3, Duncan, Kressler, and Boritz so far have combined for 10 of the 18 points, but Chromiak also getting in the act. Jones has had a couple baskets close to the basket, too. That's one of the things I look for Penn Argyl to try to do in the second half. Get it inside to their big men, take advantage of that height advantage and also work the ball inside a little bit more, even dribbling off the ball and penetrating. Notre Dame has played very tight defensively. Can try to shake them loose, move close to the basket, take the higher percentage shots.
Well, indeed so, and now these are the leading scorers for the first half of action, and as expected for Notre Dame, certainly Jeff Daly comes right up on top, and that figures a 17-point average per game. He's doing it again, and here's Chris with the individual scoring.
Actually, looking at the team numbers here, high percentage of field goal percentage. Reason for that being for Notre Dame, you're getting a lot of fast breaks, a lot of shots close to the hoop. Also for Penn Argyl, because they are working the ball inside, so both teams shooting over 40%. Penn Argyl came in shooting right around 40% from the floor as well. Three-pointers, Notre Dame again working that zone, shaking people loose. As I mentioned right before half, I think they've only missed 2 from beyond the arc, so they're shooting over 50% from long distance. Notre Dame not getting to the line a lot because most of their shots have been either the outside perimeter or on the fast break, so they really haven't had a need to draw fouls and put Penn Argyl over the limit or in the penalty. Penn Argyl is taking it to the rack, so they have a few more shots. Big key, though, is the turnovers. For Penn Argyl, 13 turnovers, much too high for them. They've led to a lot of fast breaks opportunities the other way. And also, 8 turnovers for Penn Argyl, a little bit too much. Big key for Notre Dame, 13 rebounds. That was a key that Pat Boyle had told us before the game. We have to rebound well. We have to stay out in front, both offensively, get some second and third opportunities at the hoop, and also take the ball away and start the fast break. They've gotten all their keys, so no surprise they're up by 12.
Okay, and you can see that four three-pointers against none for Penn Argyl. Certainly indicative of the score here, 30-18 at half, but I'm sure Joe Arndt has made some necessary changes at halftime. Let's see if they can slow down the train as Notre Dame and Penn Argyl come out for the second half of action. Don't forget Thursday night, you can see Gary and Dick. And by the way, I want to thank Tony Corey for, again, making us very, very welcome. Had pasta tonight. I mean, most places, you know, if you get a hot dog, that'll be a big deal, but pasta. And Thursday night, they're going to have a whole bunch of food here. Gary and Dick will be here, and if Gary isn't feeling well, I'll be more than happy to fill in. Here we go, second half action.
I won't fill in. I'll just come for the food.
You just come for the food. You're welcome. Shot up, bang. Just like that. Second half action as Daly opens up with his 4-3.
And again, not a whole lot of daylight, but just a solid shooter. Been remarking about his shooting ability for a couple years now. Remember when he was a freshman that Pat Boyle told us this guy's going to be something special. Very good all-around player.
33-18, and when Notre Dame opens up a big lead, it's very, very tough to come back. And Mike Bortz hits his second field goal of the evening. Gets it down to 13.
I like the aggressiveness by Penn Argyl. Just take it to the hoop. Now, 13-point deficit, you just got to take it a little bit at a time.
Willie really has some great moves and stutter steps and moves. His head goes right and his hips are left, and everybody's falling all over the place. But
now, that's the third time I've seen Notre Dame make what I call a desperation save. When the ball's going out or the ball's going to go across half court, not only do they save it, but they have the court awareness to find a teammate and get it to him in good shape.
And Klotz nails this one. Steal by Lilly to McAvoy, coast to coast. Layup is up and in. And now the wheels are coming off for Penn Argyl. 37-20 Notre Dame.
And it's kind of the same mistake, same thing we saw in the first half. Penn Argyl creates a turnover. Notre Dame just does a great job moving the ball up the court, converting the fast break bucket.
They're going to have to go for 3 most of the time now. Kessler misses. Here's a fast break layup. Wow. Running their pants off. Daly hits another field goal. Coach Arndt has seen enough. Timeout, Penn Argyl. Notre Dame 39, Penn Argyl 20. Be back in a moment.
Criminal justice. One of the fastest growing career opportunities. Allentown Business School can get you there. The criminal justice program at Allentown can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call toll-free 888-806-0808. That's 888-806-0808.
says you can't keep up with the kids today? The versatile Volvo V70.
That's the Notre Dame team, and I want to tell you, very, very impressive, my friend. They are looking outstanding tonight. And talking about outstanding organizations, Atlanta Metro, yes, sirree. The second half action brought to you by Atlanta Metro. Take the bus to school, work, shopping, doctor's visits, and more. You can ride the bus all day long for $2. Go all over town and have a great time. And don't forget, seniors ride free during off-peak hours. So instead of getting the car, using all that gas and the cost, just take the bus, and you'll agree that Atlanta Metro is making it easy.
Don't have to worry about scraping ice?
Yeah, that's right. Get on that bus and just snooze a little bit, wake up every now and then. I think I'll try that probably soon, maybe April or something. Here's the lost ball. Notre Dame comes up with the ball.
10 turnovers now on the night.
McAvoy, a wild shot, thought he was bumped, no call.
Yeah, this is an area Pat Boyle may want to keep concern. Obviously, you're well out in front. You're in the driver's seat up by 19 points. But you want to make sure you still play clean basketball. You keep your focus there. You don't want to develop any bad habits here in the second half.
Now Lilly turns around at the 19-foot line, hands it out to McAvoy to Klotz. Daly, Tavani, same gang that started 16 minutes ago. And Notre Dame will now try to go up by 21. We'll favor to win this thing, but I'm not so sure people thought it would be this easy, at least at this point. John Gauhan indicates maybe it's time to call this. I don't know if we want to call it yet. Shot by Tavani, not good. But Notre Dame very definitely, Chris, in charge of this basketball game. And barring a real collapse here in the second half, they're on their way. Here's a shot, 2 shots underneath. The second one by Ben Jones is not good. Look at Notre Dame. Pass across to Klotz. It's intercepted. Picked up by Chromiak. Zach winds up. Shoots. Not good. Here we go the other way. Daly across midcourt. Oh, man, they can run. They just love it. Lilly says, nah, going to throw it inside. But it looks like Tanner Duncan's going to check in for Penn Argyl now and try to slow this thing down just a wee bit. Lilly shoots up. Bang! Almost threw it, Chris, like a baseball.
Well, Lilly's another guy. You know, you talk about the players that they have around for a couple more years. Lilly only a sophomore. You know, and you just remark at the program that Pat Boyle has put together year after year. They have these younger players coming up, 4 or 5 players that you really look to. And Lilly maybe wasn't a headline guy that you looked at coming into the season, but I mean, the way he's played this year as a sophomore, just stepping in, you know, biding his time, and when he gets his opportunity, he has really played well.
Board shot, not good. Ball goes out of bounds. 2 people from Penn Argyl are pointing left. Notre Dame players are pointing right. Steve Rinaldi checks in. Shot is up and good. Steve Ronaldo picks up his first field goal tonight, 42-22.
Ronaldo, nice athletic move again. Nice shot off the dribble. Penn Argyl's gotten a lot of shot opportunities by driving it to the hoop and creating their own shots.
There's a shot by Daly, not good, and Lilly tries to save it and does, goes out of bounds. Notre Dame will keep the basketball. We'll be back with you again. As I said, Gary and Dick will be here Thursday night if they can get into the place. So if you're planning on coming to the game, come early. And Chris is going to come here for the food, as am I. And then Friday night, Chris and I will be over at Memorial Gym for the Whitehall Liberty basketball game.
The Hurricanes off to a great start.
And Whitehall still trying to put some things together. Fought Becca High fairly well this year, and Central Catholic just couldn't close. I ended up losing those.
Yeah, they won a few games in a row coming into tonight's game.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, you know, Jerry Radoka coach teams are going to win some basketball games no matter what. Here's a shot underneath. Oh. And a missed layup by Steve Waring.
Yeah, you got to be careful now, because if you're Penn Argyl, you got to start wondering if it's some fate is against you tonight, because that time that shot was 3/4 of the way down by Waring and just still found a way to pop out.
Here's the other end. Shot is up and not good by Mike Bortz, and he's going to draw a personal foul. Officials tonight, Ken Carl and Jim Butler. Considering the action here tonight, kept everything very well under control.
Going to see the drive here by Bortz. Athletic move to try to find the cylinder. Although Klotz is all over him, does a nice job just trying to move the shoulder a little bit, get in the act of shooting called.
Another 6-7 weeks. It sounds like a long time. We'll be talking about playoff matchups, and you're saying, what, already? Yeah, doesn't take long. Second shot missed. Call underneath by Mr. B.
Argyl's had an interesting schedule so far. They went to overtime to beat Caddy. They've also beaten Palisades and Palmerton. They battled some really solid teams. They played Nazareth out of the conference and some tough games against Wilson, Salisbury, and Northwestern this year.
Bortz will take it out underneath. Fires. A shot by Colin Kessler is not good. Now stolen. 2-on-1. Good play underneath by McAvoy. And McAvoy said, hey, I was roughed up a little bit myself at midcourt. You missed that one.
And McAvoy also might have been saying that Bortz was last to touch. We're going to see he's going to make the steal.
McAvoy have it. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
He reaches in there and then was saying, I bumped it off of him, but I think it was the right call by the official.
Yeah, McAvoy expressing his displeasure at the none call by Ken Carl, and then Carl reached over and said something quietly like, really, that wasn't a foul, Mr. McAvoy. And that ended that conversation very quickly.
You know, one encouraging thing here for the Green Knights is you see Knights catch and shoot there. And a foul.
Yep. Shot is good by Colin Kessler. And Lilly puts the hands up as if to say, what? Where was the foul?
Let's see. They're looking up top. He's just going to pop out. Turn around, eyes the hoop.
No. The Notre Dame fans are saying, hey, look at the RCN monitor over here. Never touched him. We've got to turn that monitor around. We're going to have a riot here. Shot is up, and it is good by Colin Kessler.
You know, one encouraging thing I started to say before they made that play, Argyl during dead time, usually when you get a lead this big, you start seeing some guys hanging their heads or letting up a little bit. They're still staying very aggressive out there. Looking at the defensive end, they're sticking to their man, and as you saw by that shot, acrobatic catch and shoot at the other end.
I wouldn't want to lay down at all under Coach Arndt. Joe's a big guy. I mean, boy, he's like a WWF.
There you see the contact reaching around, poking the ball away, and that's the first foul on Kressler.
Ball comes free and picked up now by Notre Dame. This is Jeff Daly, having himself a pretty decent basketball game tonight. Like this one. Bang!
Shot that flat-footed, going away from the defender. Going away from the hoop.
45-26. Now they're just burning them. Shot underneath is not good by Melhem. And by the way, Josh, they tell me from Argyl, some of the people came up here, the students came up and said Josh is celebrating his 16th birthday tonight. So assuming that's the case, and you know kids don't lie, and they don't fib. If it is, congratulations, Josh, on your birthday.
My birthday too, you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to be, I'm not going to say how many at this point. I don't remember 40. Don't be smart. Second shot is up and good. Yeah, Chris and I have been doing this for a couple of years. Notre Dame in forward court with Klotz. And Pat Boyle letting his first team in there pretty much throughout the third quarter, and may start resting him as we hit the early moments of quarter number 4. Daly, yeah, she'll take it from outside, shoots up, not good. Klotz gets it on the other side. Hustle, a lot of movement, a lot of athleticism here. And Pat said he's so proud of these young people. No height, but boy, they just play their hearts out. Klotz, shot good. Nice move toward the bucket, and field goal number 5.
Yeah, and the thing I said earlier that you might look to worry about if you're a Notre Dame fan is the kids kind of playing beyond themselves and getting too fancy, playing hot dogging it up a little bit, but they're just sticking to the game plan, executing very well.
Mike Forts on a nice second attempt. He kisses it off the glass, and it's now 47-30. 49 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Excellent pictures again. There's all the numbers you need right on your screen. Great job by our marvelous staff of camera people, graphics people, audio, visual, the whole game, and you'll see the credits at the end of the game. And these are the people that make it possible.
And Argyl cutting down the deficit a little bit since they've gone to the man-to-man defense, and a little tighter, forcing some turnovers.
Daly almost out at midcourt now with 13 seconds to go, and it wouldn't surprise me if he pulled the trigger. Decides not to. And he gets it on the other side. Shoots. Bang! Yeah, he did anyway.
Mike Forts is looking around. He's saying, come on, you can't play much tighter than that. I didn't, had a hand in his face, and he still shot it in.
That's the end of 3 quarters with the score. Notre Dame 50, Penn Argyl 30. Be back in a moment.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
Hey, basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader. Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
And welcome to quarter number 4 with Chris Michael. I'm Bob Beatty. 50-30, Notre Dame comfortably out in front by 20 as we enter the last 8 minutes of regulation time. Notre Dame should, again, barring a major collapse here in the last 8 minutes, pick up win number 10. Here's a shot by Chromiak, is not good. Jump ball underneath, alternate possession, favor of Notre Dame.
Does that mean you're making the call?
Should I?
Yep.
Give me another minute or two.
Okay. We see Penn Argyl getting some daylight from the perimeter. Staying aggressive inside, but Notre Dame doing a nice job boxing out there. Nate Mass, the senior. I have to ask, did you call the Pittsburgh and the San Francisco game over the weekend sitting at home?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I also saw the Giants in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, you mean, and I saw the Giants. And here's a walk by Tavani. Now, wasn't that something, Chris, huh? With the blown call at the end, and people were screaming today, especially those Giant fans. I was amongst them, but, as the one other Giant fan said, it should have never gotten down to that last play anyway. But point being that you can bet that those officials will be obviously reprimanded and may not work some playoff games for a while. Outside for Kessler. Shoots up, not good. And there's another call for making the NFL officials full-time like the NBA. That may or may not happen. Penn Argyl with the basketball toward the bucket. Here's a nice move, and the layup is up and in by Colin Kessler, only his third field goal tonight.
You know, I like the call by Penn Argyl here in the second half, switching defense to man defense, and also continuing to be aggressive, attacking the basket, getting a lot of shots in tight to the hoop, both off driving and giving it to the big guys.
Nate Mast hands it out to Daly. He likes that area out there at the elbow. Shoots up and in. 10th field goal for Jeff Daly.
And that time you pick Chromiak on him, and he was playing him tied up side, so he did the little stutter step move, got a shot where he was flying through the air and still got it to fall.
Well, there's a timeout by Penn Argyl with 6.5 minutes remaining in the basketball game. And Notre Dame continues their lead by 20.
Yeah, Jeff Daly's just one of those players, and there's a few of them this year in the Colonial League that you just don't know how to defend because they're so talented. They can go inside, they can shoot off the dribble, they can stand outside and shoot the three-pointer. There's a ton of guys in the area right now. Joseph's another guy that we talked about a couple weeks ago against Wilson that can also do that. And here's Daly again. You see, he's playing him tight, so he's going to take it to the hoop, reads the double team coming, so he stops, pops, and hits all net.
A lot of smiles on the Notre Dame sideline. Pat Boyle, there he is, again in the 7th year, 110 and 61 overall. And they'll be 10 and 2 at the end of tonight, 7 and 0 in league play.
You know, one other thing about Daly, noticing him dribbling with the left hand. That's another thing. There's so many players that can dribble with both hands. You may get to the NBA level and you'll have certain players that favor one side or the other, but Daly's a guy that can shoot both ways.
Well, Coach Joe Arndt is probably just thinking about, wow, we knew this was going to be a tough piece of work coming in here and knocking off this outfit, but
yeah, that's the second shot you want there. I don't know if you want your big guy taking a 10-footer, but nice job by Penn Argyl getting the rebound, nice speed inside.
Almost a steal, and there is one as Penn Argyl comes back, trying to get this thing to be a little bit more respectable inside. A shot by Kessler is not good, but a personal foul.
You see Penn Argyl off the screen there. Kressler driving around, drawing contact. And again, that's the right idea. You go to the free throw line, you stop the clock, try to earn some points from the charity stripe.
Sounds like Cameron Hall at Duke University by what I call affectionately the zoo crew down at the end of the row here.
They don't have balloons at Cameron, though.
Oh, okay. But listen to the foul now. As soon as Kessler gets ready. Now they don't do it. 3 or 4 boys.
They're too busy waving those balloons.
52-35. Tabani. Watts. And Daly. And this is Mast.
You know, under 6 minutes left.
Oh, nice handoff. Layup up and in.
You know, you look at them, whether they take the starters out or not, but by the same token, they're not running up the score. They're not, going back to the fast break. They're just executing their plays.
Kessler gets one on the other side. And Notre Dame brings it right back in forward court. Wastes little or no time. Tabani, big move toward the bucket. Unloads it outside the clock. He'll go and get it back to Tabani. Dan shoots, not good, gets his own rebound. Follow-up up and in. Third field goal for Tabani, 56-37, approaching 5 minutes left.
Tabani with very quick hands that time, off the miss, just stole it and put up the shot before the defender could turn around.
Bang! Josh Milham. Kind of a quirky move. The shot was kind of herky-jerky, as I call it in the old days. Probably saying herky-jerky. You can tell I was watching basketball on 55, maybe too much of it. All right, here we are, 56-39. Tabani. Oh, man. Took Jones in, and Jones clobbered him and picks up his...
Once again, we kind of go
on first personal. Go ahead.
We kind of go back to what Pat Boyle says. 4 or 5 guys that are very athletic. You have Tabani, who by default is kind of playing the 4 spot on the floor, and you look how aggressive he is, taking it to the hoop. Good first step, and now he goes to the free throw line.
Foul shot is not good. Savani averaging 5 points a game tonight. He's got 6, so he's right on the money. What an athlete this kid is. Look at those shoulders. Has he been lifting a little bit? One more.
Probably gets a workout lifting all the food for us before the game.
They're going to have chicken here and sausage on Thursday and fruit salad and or a salad rather, and tossed salad. Shots on outside, not good. Oh, my. Offensive foul against Waring, and that is his third. Joe Arns said, no. And Jimmy Butler, the official, said, come on, get off my back. 57-40 now. Don't get me going. That's the mark of a good official. A veteran official will not get into a long, drawn-out conversation with you. Nice pass inside. The layup is up and in by Klotz.
You know, one of the things we talked about at the outset, the quickness of both of these teams. Notre Dame tonight just a little bit quicker, just getting a little bit faster out in the open.
Whoop. Savani reaches in, and Dan picks up his second personal foul. You know, one thing about officiating, and Chris, and this goes in the NBA and Major League Baseball, checking out his daily, and he had a great evening.
But Savani doesn't like the call. He reaches in there, and the official says, I don't think he drew contact on the way in, but coming back might have drew some contact.
Shot is up and not good by Tanner Duncan, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Penn Argyl ball. What I was saying about, the Notre Dame fans don't like that call either. That very often the umpires will, if the players say something, they'll snap and give them the T and
rabbit ears, yeah.
And likewise in Major League Baseball, they'll throw them out just for looking at them in a funny way. And I think at this point of the season, it's getting to the point now after maybe about 15 games that these officials have heard enough griping and their patience is a little tested. Here's a shot for three by Mike Bortz. Bang! He picks up his fourth field goal, 59-43.
A little bit too late for Penn Argyl. They're getting a perimeter game going from the outside. A couple long balls in the fourth quarter.
Lilly out almost near midcourt. Notre Dame has kept the pressure on. 16, 18, 20-point lead. Here's Savani, little head fake. McAvoy will back up toward midcourt. Savani, big move toward the bucket, shoots, not good. It's knocked down, no call. He's used to getting knocked on his shoulders. Pass knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Notre Dame basketball. Frank Savani, of course, leading Lafayette to a very, very good season this year. And boy, how sweet it was at the end with that victory over Lehigh. Can't wait for spring training, I'm sure. And the question is, where will Dan go? Shot by Lilly, not good. Gets his own rebound. Shoots, not good. Back to Savani, out to Klotz. He'll go for three. Shoots, bang! And we'll call it right now. Notre Dame to win this one, pick up their 10th victory, and that's the 7th field goal for Klotz. 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. From way outside, here is a shot by Bortz, not good. Backcourt foul, and Bortz will pick up personal number 1.
Lilly, not to kind of get lost in the shuffle here, but he also does a nice job handling the basketball there. You see that double team, wound up getting fouled, but a couple times tonight he's been matched up against some tight defense, handles the ball very well as a sophomore.
McAvoy checks out, as does Tanner Duncan from Penn Argyl. And now Notre Dame has Savani, along with Jonathan Kindred, Evan Whiteout, as Pat Boyle is letting some of his younger players get some playing time. And there's some changes for Penn Argyl as well. Coming in is Chip Morgan, as Joe Arndt now has raised the white flag.
You know, I'm sorry, Bob. One of the things you say in a blowout, you ask the coach to just empty the bench and put everybody in there. But, one thing people have to remember, depending on what they do in practice, sometimes you want to have an experienced guy or two out on the floor to run the show. Just throwing 5 guys out there that haven't played with each other, doesn't get any good. So you wonder why, maybe a starter stays in or so forth. The reason is to try to settle things down and set up the other guys that are on the floor, maybe for the first or second time at the varsity level.
Here comes Tavani checking out. And Pat Boyle, the first one to say, good job. Tavani finishing tonight 7 points. New people in, Steve Ronaldo for Penn Argyl. And this is Matt Mellert. Whoops, lost the ball, picked up. Notre Dame still running. Lilly down the lane, layup, got it. 4th field goal, but I like this young man. He's impressive. The other end, layup is not good by Morgan.
Now, and Bisco did a nice assist. We mentioned a couple times the court awareness. That time did a nice job looking up to find Lilly.
Shot by John Bisco is not good, goes out of bounds. We have about a minute and 10 seconds remaining in the game. Going out is Lilly.
And then that's something as a sophomore. The coach takes you out of the game, get a nice round of applause. Pretty good accomplishment, especially cracking into this lineup.
All new people in now. Knappenberger for Notre Dame. Whiteout. Make sure we try to get everybody. John Bisco, we mentioned him. I think there's 1 or 2 more. As soon as they turn their back, I'll be able to see.
And number 10's on for Notre Dame, too.
Number 11 is Kindred. And number 12, here's a shot by Bisco is not good. Ball gets picked up in the backcourt. Toward the lane. 2-3 shots by Dale Jacoby, not good. We're under 30 seconds and counting.
You think Daly's the player of the game, Bob?
Sure.
This Notre Dame team, it may be tough from night to night to pick a player of the game because on any given night, different players can step up, but clearly Daly had his rhythm tonight.
Shot by Kindred is not good. 10 seconds remaining in the game. This is Mellert. Cross court to Ronaldo. Shot not good. Rebound, Notre Dame. And that is it. Final score. Notre Dame 64, Penn Argyl 43, and here's Chris.
Well, once again, recapping the things that we said to look for Notre Dame in order to be successful. They had to run the fast break and also play that tight defense, force some turnovers, and get that fast break going. And they were able to do that early and often. 8 turnovers in the first 15 minutes of play there by Penn Argyl. A lot of those because of some tight defense, and a few of them just from bad passes. So that really opened the floodgates. Big first half lead for for Notre Dame because of the Penn Argyl turnovers, and then the Crusaders never looked back.
Okay, let's take a look at the scoring real quick, and then we'll give you the player of the game. For Penn Argyl, Chromiak with 2, Duncan with 4, Ronaldo with 2, Kessler with 12, Bortz with 10, Jones 4, Waring 2, and Melham 7. For Penn Argyl, they'll drop to 6 and 7 overall on the year, 4 and 4 in the league. For Notre Dame, Lilly with 9, Klotz with 16, McAvoy with 4, Daly with 28, Tavani with 7. That's their scoring. They'll be 10 and 2 on the year, 7 and 0 in league play. Final comment, my friend.
Of course, you said the warm-up for Wilson, and it certainly turned out that way for the Crusaders. Big game. Of course, Daly, as we mentioned, the player of the game with 28 points so far, just doing it at different parts of the floor. Outside shooting, that flat-footed shot he made. There's his one from the corner pocket shot, gets that one to fall. We saw a couple times on the replay he was driving to the hoop, created his own shot. There's another long three-pointer from the wing. He just shot it from all different points on the floor. And, Daly, as Pat Boyle told us a couple years ago, he's going to be some kind of player. And he can also take it to the hoop, pull up, sees the double team coming, floater, and hits it once again. I only had, maybe 3 or 4 missed shots the entire evening.
So Jeff Daly, our Yakos player of the game once again, Bob.
Okay, and he had 6 threes, by the way, tonight, and he's only a junior, so he's going to be back along with a lot of other people. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-8 in favor of Notre Dame. At halftime, the Crusaders were on top 30-18. At the end of 3, it was 50-30, and the final score, Notre Dame 64, Penn Argyl 43. Don't forget to join Gary and Dick Thursday night for this huge Wilson-Notre Dame basketball game, and we'll join you again as part of the doubleheader Friday night. Chris and I will be over at Liberty for Whitehall and Liberty. John Gauham and his crew are doing an outstanding job, and of course our executive director tonight leading the charge is Chris Popick, and to his marvelous staff, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a job well done. We'll see you Friday night. On behalf of Chris Michael, I'm Bob Beatty. Good night and good sports.